Hey everybody, welcome to our first Nebraska Schools Esports Association Twitch Talk Thursday of the year. Tonight we have the head coach from Wayne State College here in Nebraska, Drew Kurtenbach. Coach, welcome.
Hi, glad to be here. We're super excited to talk more about our program. We are so excited 9 days from now to be hosting, or 8 days now to be
Yeah,
hosting the state tournament. So we are stoked. It's a busy night in here. So if you see anyone in the background, don't mind them. They're kind of popping in now, getting their matches in. Final week
yeah.
of the regular season around here. So.
So tell us a little bit about that. Big matches tonight. Tell us about who you're competing
Mhm.
with. Give us a little bit of
Sure.
information there.
Yeah, so Smash, right now they're competing in NACE. It's kind of our secondary league. So our main league is the NECC. They went 5-1 this season in Smash. And right now we're heading into set three, actually, in a best of three with DuPage. Don't know how to pronounce it 100%. But if they win this, they'll be 6-0 in NACE. So definitely a good season for them. Overwatch Varsity is also playing their match. They are fighting for the three seed. Currently, they've secured playoffs, just fighting for a better seed. And same thing with our JV team. So a lot of big matchups. We got playoffs coming up next week. A lot of teams have made it in. It's just going to be a matter of kind of where they're seed and kind of
Yeah,
putting themselves in a better spot for sure.
awesome. Very cool. So tell us a little bit about yourself, about your journey to
Sure.
Wayne State.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's kind of was a different journey, and like most people thinking this guy looks too young to be an esports coach. Get it a lot. Most people think I'm a student around campus, but I went to Shadron State for 4 years. I just graduated here in May. I started the esports program there. So if any of you came out to our high school tournament last year, or if you heard from me at all, that's where you'd know me from. Kind of started ground up as a club. Now it's a program. They've started to really grow their program quite a bit. So it's been good to see that. But Nick Sutton, the previous coach at Wayne State, was a mentor to me. I really went to him a lot when I started the program out at Shadron. And he just really reached out to me when he was leaving, when he was on his way out to pursue another opportunity. And kind of just all fell into place. Since then, I couldn't be happier with being here in Wayne and back on the east side of the state. Spent 17 years of my life in Omaha, so kind of feels a little bit like home for me to be back here on the east side, and definitely enjoying every minute of it so far.
Yeah. So what is what's your college degree background look
Sure.
like then?
Yeah, so I got a marketing degree.
Okay.
Definitely not the most esports related, but I definitely use it quite a bit. I mean, looking at how we grow the program, looking at how I continue to recruit new players, how we get, high school programs to work with us, all of that kind of I tie a lot of my marketing degree into. So it definitely, as much as it sounds weird to say I do use my marketing degree, I definitely do.
Yeah, of course. Um, all right. So tell us, you got a good program going there. This is your
Mhm.
first year there, if I'm correct,
Yep.
right? Okay. So tell us a little bit about your team. What games do your teams play?
Sure. So I'm 99% sure, unless numbers have changed in the last 2 months, we have the biggest program in the state. So we currently have around 85 to 90 students actively
Okay.
in our roster. So very big program. We've got 10 different games we compete in. So everything from Overwatch to Valorant to we added Counter Strike. Chess.com is now a collegiate esport. We added Fortnite, Rocket League, Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege. I'm probably going to somehow forget one. Happens a lot when you have 10. I always forget one on the spot. But yeah, we've got a lot of games, and I'm always looking for new ones, always looking for those growing esports titles. Really, just as long as they're a part of collegiate, that's where I'm comfortable getting into that scene, is having a collegiate league that sponsors it. So always looking for new opportunities to give our students opportunities to be involved and to be competitive as a program too.
Gotcha. Someone asked about Brawl Stars. Is that a title that you guys are?
Those are definitely some of my players. Definitely. No, we just been playing some Brawl Stars on the side,
Ah, okay.
as friends. But I mean, that does lead, I guess, a little bit of an interesting conversation for me. So I do have a background in mobile esports. So kind of I got in esports was actually mobile, Call of Duty mobile. I managed some pro teams in that. Kind of was my start in esports, and yeah, now we just playing Brawl Stars. But I would love to see the growth in mobile esports. We see it with Clash Royale. I'm seeing it grown a lot at the Nebraska level. So I'd love to see more. I mean, Brawl Stars could be next, could be the next Nebraska State tournament. Who knows?
Well, and mobile games just seem more I don't know if approachable is the right word, but accessible to kids
Yeah.
because they all have phones. Whether their phones can run them or not, run the game is a
Yeah.
different story. But
hmm
um, would COD be your mobile COD be your all time? Like, if we could add a mobile esport, would it be mobile COD?
I think that definitely would be one in the future. Definitely wouldn't see it at the high school level.
Yeah,
I could definitely see a game like Brawl Stars seeing a lot of success. The 3v3 format. It runs on almost every phone. Never heard of someone who can't run it.
yeah,
So I think the big thing with that is especially the smaller schools that don't have a massive budget to spend on PCs, it gives them an opportunity to kind of get their foot into esports and really see the value in it before they can get an administration or someone to really support the program financially to buy the PCs. So I think hopefully we see some more in the future. I'd love to see Brawl Stars. I know my players would love it and they would ride me endlessly to get it in college, but yeah, I would love to see more in the future for sure.
is there a is there a mobile scene at the collegiate level?
Not really.
Yeah.
Every now and then you'll get a tournament or two. I think Juco may have touched one or two,
Okay.
but nothing with NACE or NECC like a league format per se. We have seen chess.com obviously can be
Yeah.
played on mobile, so if you want to count that one. But yeah, no, not yet. I think in the future we could see more. The thing with colleges though is a majority of the programs do have access to PCs,
Yeah.
and so it's a little bit different of an approach.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your team demographic. Is
Sure.
it all guys? Is
Majority,
yeah,
definitely, definitely majority. I would say probably about 90% guys.
yeah,
We do have we call it our All Stars team. So our Overwatch All Stars is an all female and non-binary team that plays together. They'll be competing here in the spring. Previously, they were competing in Valorant, so they were the Valorant All Stars. Now we switched them over to Overwatch. A little bit more of a I don't know if beginner friendly is the right word, but a little bit more of a approachable game
yeah.
for those that are kind of newer to gaming that haven't competed in esports. And so really just gave them a better environment. So we're hoping to see definitely an increase and a change in the demographic. That's kind of what we're doing to address that as much as we can, but definitely majority are going to be in definitely guys, but
Yeah.
yeah, we have a lot of variety in age wise. We just brought in 35 freshmen signed up this year to try
Wow.
out. So we definitely have a big variety in age for sure. We're losing some key seniors, but same time got some freshmen that are coming up that we're pretty excited about.
Yeah, of course. What is your practice? What do your practices look like typically? How often do practice schedules just kind of depend on like Overwatch has this practice schedule, Smash has this practice schedule? What does that look like?
Yeah, sure. So our practices are coordinated basically at the beginning of the season when we get our season schedules. I sit down and make our practice schedules that repeat themselves over and over again. So right now, our varsity teams practice 2 times a week in here, and our JVs once, and then they also have a game a week. So varsity's in here about 3 times, and JV's in here twice.
Okay. How does one get on one of your teams?
Yeah, sure. So, not gonna say this is how it is at every college, but how we do it is just you show up and sign up through our tryout forms. We'll post it on socials. We post outside of our arena. We do events like a little smash pop up, trying to get people to sign up, and that's how you get signed up for tryouts. From there, you just show up to your tryout, play your best game, and we kind of construct our rosters based off that. So, um, it really depends how you do at that tryout. Some games we cut, some games we don't. Some we only have enough for one team, some we have enough for five.
Yeah.
Smash this year we had 22 signups and only kept nine. So
Okay.
it definitely varies on game, but I think best way to sign up is just to show up. Wherever you are, get in contact with that coach, and they'll always be able to put you in the right spot to be.
do signups happen all year long or at beginning of certain seasons? Is that when you run those or?
Usually, yeah, usually about 3 to 4 weeks before the tryout is usually when we start rolling through our actual signups. Typically, you can reach out to me any time of the year, though, and I'll make sure to
Mhm.
kind of keep a note that I need to email you when tryouts are live or anything like that. We have an info request form on our website for those that are, a junior, even as, sophomores that can kind of sit down and get a hold of me. And then I can kind of know, hey, when you're here in the fall, we want to get you signed up for tryouts.
Mhm. Okay. So along with that tryout process, a lot of colleges in the area will offer scholarships and such for
Mhm.
players. Are you able to offer scholarships to kids?
Mhm. Not currently. I'm pushing for
Okay.
it for sure. We don't currently offer scholarships. I think, looking at our program, I think the big benefit we offer is we just travel. We go to a lot of lands. We try to get you guys in the best position to win. I think the big thing, what Nick did really well, and hopefully I'll continue to do is we bring home a lot of awards and win a lot. So I think being a part of this program, being part of a legacy of winning. So I think as much as we aren't quite able to offer scholarships, we're also, a super affordable option being a state school. There's a ton of
Mhm.
academic programs. Ton of our programs are, or a ton of our players in our program are on academic scholarships in some kind of program that helps with that. But outside of that, yeah, we really do a lot to try to support our players and make it a great experience outside of that.
Awesome. Awesome. So you mentioned a little bit about your traveling and stuff. Talk to us about what competitions look like first there on campus. So, obviously you've got some stuff going on right now. And then talk to us a little bit about traveling.
Yeah, I mean, on campus, I mean, it can get electric in here. You kind of, I've heard them here and there. I'm trying to keep them quiet, but it definitely can be an electric environment in here. There's just something about being in person, being sitting next to the person that you're playing with, that really just brings the team together. And kind of some of the moments that it seems like there's no hope. All of a sudden they rally together. You see them looking at each other, giving each other knuckles, and they make the craziest plays. So in the room, it's definitely something crazy. In that land, I mean, it's just a different beast. I mean, you're not worried about things like lag, or you're not worried about things like how are we gonna, get bands done and all this stuff
Yeah.
ahead of time. I mean, you're in person. You can see your opponent. They're sitting across from you, and I mean, when you're the team winning, it's a certain pride thing. But definitely when you lose, even though you lose, there's something about just being able to go to shake their hand and say good game and talk to them a little and make new friends in it. So I think it's just a special experience that it's hard to describe, but
Yeah.
it's such a cool experience that when you get the chance to do it, it's really just something that I had not experienced till now and until this year. So
Yeah.
getting to experience it was something I'll never forget for sure.
Uh, Tell us a little bit about your traveling tournaments. I know you went to Mage, which is an event
Yep.
hosted in Council Bluffs.
Hmm.
Um, tell us about that one. Tell us about
Sure.
any other of the cool tournaments that you
Yeah,
might
sure.
attend.
Yeah, sure. So Mage, we went down. That was in Council Bluffs. We played pretty well. We got third in that one for Rocket League. Unfortunately, we were beat by a team called Monkey Men. It wasn't just a collegiate tournament, and they flew a guy in from New York, and
Oh,
uh, yeah, they were pretty good. We took a map off them. We played well. They ended up winning the tournament, and so we got knocked down to the third place match and played Buena Vista for third and did really well in that one. So a little bit of a confidence and that one. Then we
yeah.
went out to Mankato and had a ton of fun. We got third again. This time Northwestern just got the better of us 3-1. Very close matches. They were back and forth. We had one of the games lost was a 1 goal. The last game was in overtime. So really, what was a tight fought battle. They just kind of got the better of us. But that was up in Mankato. It was the Rockstar Invitational. It was a ton of fun. We also took our Call of Duty and Smash teams, which played pretty well. Just really stiff competition up there. And then next weekend, um, unfortunately, I will miss the last about 4 hours of the state tournament for this, but we're taking our Rocket League team up to the Collegiate Champions League Finals, which is a regional league, which includes schools such as North Dakota State, Dakota State, Minnesota State, Moorhead, University of Nebraska at Omaha. kind of all the regional schools. We play in that one. We're hoping to bring back the title. We brought it back in the spring. We're currently undefeated. So hopefully, while everyone's here on our campus winning trophies, we can go win one of our
Yeah.
own as well.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Um, so let me see. I'm looking down my list of schools here. So, uh, you mentioned our state tournament.
Mhm.
We are bringing a whole bunch of schools. We're bringing a whole bunch of kids right onto your campus next Friday and Saturday, doing some Smash, doing some Valorant, doing some, I don't know, Clash Royale stuff. And what does your space look like? What are what are
Sure.
what are you offering for it with the kids?
Mhm.
What are they going to be expecting to see?
Yeah. Yeah, so 2 years ago, we did it in the den. For those of you that were, whether you're a freshman, now a junior, or a sophomore, now a senior. Um, we this year now we're in a theater. So
Okay.
it's gonna have there's gonna be a stage up front. There's gonna be Smash right in front of that with Clash as well, the same setups. There's gonna be seating right there. It's gonna be just a little bit more of an elevated environment. So I think it should provide a really cool experience, especially for the Valorant teams that'll get to be on that big stage. I think when we get down to the state finals with Valorant, they're gonna have one team on one side, one on the other, instead of one room and the other
Yeah.
and the other. I mean, you're going to be staring down your opponent. So I think, could make for a little bit more of an electric environment than we've had in the past. And I think, definitely for the spectators, it's going to be a little bit more seating in terms of being able to kind of sit there and be able to watch your team and cheer your kids on, whether it be friends, family, whatever it is. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great environment. I'm sure we're going to have plenty of our players around. So hopefully for all you high schoolers, we're going to be able to have you guys meet some collegiate esports players, as well as those interested can take a tour. We're going to have a couple of times, I think a time each day for people to go take a tour of the campus. So I think it's just going to be a great experience. I think we're hopefully stepping it up for you guys at the state level and putting on. I hope to be the biggest state tournament we've had so far.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to bringing up a Smash team. They're not quite old enough to start playing for you yet, but um, they're I know they're excited to be coming up that way. Um, do you have one of the questions that's been asked before
Mhm.
is do you have coaches for specific games, or are you coaching
Mhm.
all of them?
Yeah. So currently, I mean, I'm the head coach, so I do take care of all of them. You hear them in the back. I do take care of all of them, even if they are a little goofy. Yeah, we currently are working on expanding the coaches we have. So right now, I do have a chess coach currently. Ironically, that's a game I have one in. He played
All
for
right.
me last year. He is a 2000 rated player, so very solid chess player. And he played for me last year and was like, "Hey, I'd be interested in still doing it." We have a couple of guys that we're in talks with that used to play for us. I graduated that were really good players that really coached their teams well. So hoping to expand, kind of having some coaches with a little bit more expertise. Games like League and Valorant, I'm still very much learning. I am not on the ascendant level per se, or even yeah, not quite there yet, but we'll get there for sure. But definitely coaching all 10 games is interesting. But currently, yeah, I am the main coach for all of them. A lot of it comes down to in the games I don't know well, just giving them tips on more the team side of things, team
Yeah.
mentality, how they can work through a lot of the issues they're having, and just being mentally strong as an esports player. I think that's something that maybe isn't talked about as much. A lot of it is focused on the game skill, but to be able to do some of the things you got to do in these, you got to be very mentally strong. So I
Yeah.
think that's where I kind of approach those games I'm not as familiar with.
Yeah. Well, I think that says a lot too, because a lot of our coaches aren't video game players in
Mm-hmm.
our association. And one of the things when we talk to new coaches, they're like, well, I don't know anything about the games. It's like, well, you don't really have to know about the games.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's getting into that mental state and helping kids deal with those kinds of things. It's sometimes almost more important than learning how to play the game. They'll figure that out.
Yeah, definitely. I think both have a big value, but I think sometimes you got to be, for lack of better term, just got to be their biggest cheerleader. I mean, you
Yeah.
got to be they're hyping them up. You got to be the one really getting them excited, and making it so that they want to achieve. I think there can be burnout for sure. And so that's where you as a coach have to step up and, at the end of the season when it comes down to playoffs, like motivate them to want that win, want to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely I'd say to any new coaches, you don't have to be an expert in every game your team has or every game your program has. You just got to have the willingness to learn and really have the desire to want what's best for your players.
Yeah. Somebody wants an update on the Smash matches.
Smash match right now. Let's see. I'm gonna double check so I don't. We are up a stock 7-6 currently.
Okay.
So it's a tight match. It's gonna be interesting. Our anchor is our captain. He's a banjo main, believe it or not.
Okay.
He is kind of crazy. So we're feeling pretty confident. Anytime we can kind of put him in a position where it's a 3-3 or 3-4, we feel pretty confident in taking
Yeah.
that match. So
Are they doing duos? Is that what
we play
2v2s or?
crews.
Okay. All
So
right.
college is crews. So basically, it is singles where you're playing one at a time, but the entire team
Yeah.
you have to take the entire team out. So
Okay.
basically, each player has your standard 3 stocks. If you win, you take your stocks on to the next guy. So for example, our current player, he beat the last guy. He still had a stock left, so now he's in this match. He has 1 stock. His opponent has 3. So
Okay.
basically, go until your team's out of stocks.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. One last question for you before we
Cool.
wrap up for tonight. If there was an esport title, all of your favorite games in the world, if there was an esport
Mhm.
title, what would it be? And
Oh,
maybe it
my
already is
favorite.
one, but what
There
is your
already
most
is one.
favorite?
My favorite, and it hurts because we're still very much building this up. Um, and it's because of my roots and kind of what I grew up playing. But Call of Duty is, believe it or not, my favorite. I absolutely love coaching that game. And so when I got the chance to coach it, I was very excited. So
Yeah.
I'd say that's my favorite. In my free time though, I like playing Rocket League a lot, a little bit of
Okay.
Fortnite. So, I enjoy coaching every game though, honestly.
Yeah.
Even I know my League of Legends guys are watching, so I'll give them a plug. They've made it a ton of fun learning about, everything League. I definitely came in pretty green to League, so
Yeah.
it's hard to pin a favorite, but
Yeah.
everyone knows here that COD is currently my favorite for sure.
All right. Fair enough. Well, Coach, thank you so much for giving us some of your time tonight. We know you got a lot going on in your space. We're super excited to head up that way next weekend, and we wish you the best of luck going into playoffs. Super
Appreciate it.
exciting. Um,
Yeah, we're stoked.
yeah. Anything you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I just want to say,
No?
thank you to everyone that really is coming out. We're excited to have you guys. If anyone watching is interested, feel free to just reach out to me via our website, my email, either works. Would love to talk to anyone. I can't wait to have everyone on campus. I know our players are stoked to meet some high schoolers. A lot of them, we're in the players' seats just a couple of years ago. They kind of got their
Yeah.
roots. We're kind of starting to have some players that did esports and had some previous state champs come through. So I think we're stoked to have them, and great speaking with you tonight.
Awesome. Well, everybody that's watching, thanks for joining us tonight. We will be back streaming next Friday and Saturday, so make sure and check out this channel to catch the matches going on. I think some other stuff will be streamed on the Wayne State Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but we'll be streaming
Yep.
here for sure. So hope everybody can check us out then. Until next time, everybody, we'll see you.